Yes, in today's class we will discuss about some of the command line editings as well as command line completion shortcut keys or some tips on whenever you are working in Linux command terminals. So, for example, whenever you want to find out, say, the bash program, we are heard about it is a shell program, etc. It allows us to work with the computer hardware, or you can interact with the computer system using a shell terminal. So bash is one of the shell program. Now whenever you want to find out what is the actual executable file for that particular command, say for example you are interested in a command, say for example ls. If you want to find out where is the executable of that command called ls, so you can simply type ls. When you type ls, now look into the reply from the computer. ls is /bin/ls. That means that within the /bin folder there is a file called ls. This is the command. This is the program. ls is a program name, object code. This is the object code which works whenever you simply type command ls with the different options. Now you are getting, the moment you type ls command, you are getting some reply from the computer. It actually displays the content of a current working directory. But actually the program which is stored in /bin/ls is being executed now, or it is already executed. So then again, whenever you want to type some command, say for example you want to type a command ls, and after that, okay, ls is the content of a particular folder. Let me write that, type in that particular command /bin. I want to display, what I mean here is that I want to execute ls command to find out the content of /user/bin folder in this computer. And when I type this command, you can now just look into the pattern in which this output is being displayed. It gives multiple pages of output. Some of them are skipped. Then you have to use your mouse to find out the entire set of commands or the contents of that particular folder. It's a very large file. Now, if you want to display that output in a more useful way, what you can do here is that ls/user/bin. Then, in case if you want all that contents of that folder to be sorted in alphabet order, there is one more command called sort, shell command. In details, we will discuss that command later when we write shell program also. So you can pass the output of this program ls-user/bin. A huge amount of output is displayed. We tried this command. Now I want to send this output not to the screen. Instead, I want to pipe it. This symbol is called pipe command, which is just above your enter key along with the slash. If you press shift key and you can use this, type this command. It is also called as a pipe command, pipe, pipe command. Then output of that previous ls command, I want to sort it in alphabetic order. You can find more details about sort command by typing man sort. Okay, then you will get different options of sort commands also. Now it will be sorted alphabetically. After sorting it, next I am going to print this output in a one page of output. When I say less command, less is one more shell command. The moment I type in less command, one page of output will be displayed. one page of output is displayed here. Now look into the content. Instead of displaying and scrolling up the screen, you will get one page of output. Also note that all these commands are sorted alphabetically. Initially some special character bracket, square bracket, then some digits came. After that everything is in alphabetic order. Now in case if you want to see the next line of this particular output, you can go on pressing enter key. One line at a time, every content will be displayed in this particular fashion. So in case if you want to display the next page, because there are multiple pages of output, note that you can press space bar, control space bar. If you press a space bar or just space bar, you go on pressing it space bar, you will get page by page outputs until end of the page. This is made possible by using less command. So less command will display initially the first page. After that, by pressing space bar, you can go to the next page of output, etc. This holds good for any multi-page outputs of a program. This you can remember. If you want to come out of that, if you are okay enough of this command and you got your output or got your whatever you are searching for, you can simply press quit also, Q key. Just press Q key. Now there is one more editing command that is called, say, now you are at this particular command line. You are viewing this command ls. Now if you want to go to the first line or first letter near the command prompt, you can press Control A. The moment you press Control A, immediately your cursor will move to the beginning of the command. See, directly. Now you can look into that command is placed just above L. So that is made possible by Control A. Then if you press Control F, you can go to any corresponding lines, characters. Control A will take you to the first line. Similarly, Control D will delete a character. Say, for example, I want to delete, say, N in that particular bin. Just move there. By pressing Control A, or sorry, Control F, you can move to character by character, any particular character. Now the cursor is above N. Now you press Control D. So that N is deleted. If you want to type something else, you can type, otherwise you can write M. So these are Control A, Control F, Control D, etc. are some shortcuts whenever you are typing a very long shell command where you are going to, there is a possibility of making a mistakes. You can always go to beginning by pressing Control A. You can forward it character by pressing Control Fs. At any character, you can place the cursor and then you can press Control D to delete a character. And if you want to execute commands, you can press Enter key. Then you will get the output. This is the one of the tip while working with the command line. Next there are some command line completion commands. When I say command line completion commands, say for example, you can type, you are typing some command echo, then assume $OS, some echo command you are trying to press. After that, there is something more to fulfill that particular command. If you are not, you can go for a shortcut technique. Just press a tab key here. You typed some 2 characters, then press tab key. A single tab key will complete the command. See, $OS type is actual command, expected command. You need not type OSTYPE. Instead, after typing few characters, you can press tab key. Sorry. Now, if you look into that, what I did here is that after echo, I typed $0, $O, then I typed tab key. then it will look into it will display all possible valid commands. One is called $OPTERR, another is OPTIND, another is OS types. If you type next character OS, then it will easily find out and complete the command. So this will reduce our typing. Actually, OS type is Linux GNU. That is one environment variable that is displayed here. So anyway, the point here is you can use some shortcut techniques while typing commands and save your time while working with the Linux shell commands. Similarly, there are many different commands also, like forwarding it using Control F, Control D, okay, you practice to delete key, etc. So there are many different navigation commands also. You just look into the textbook, Linux Bible, you will get much more shortcut, many more shortcut keys. Depending on your requirement, you can remember certain shortcut keys like Control F, Control B for moving character backward, Control A for beginning of the line, and Control E for end of line, Control L for clear screen, etc. Say Control Tab L will clear the screen. You did not type clear. In case if you want to clear the screen, you can simply press Control L. Similarly, Control E will take you to the end of the line, and so on. There are many more shortcut keys. Try to remember that. And one more useful command in while working with the shell is called history. You can type because Linux can remember all the shell commands, whatever you are typing. If you want to find out what are the previous commands, say I want to find out previous 10 commands which I used here, type history and 10. Then it will display all the commands, whatever I worked here right now. Or if you say history, if it is a old installation, you may get much more than that. All different commands. Again, here also interestingly, history 100, it will not fit in a page. You can pipe it and you can say less. Try that. Then page by page display will happen. See, this is what the command I worked in this particular shell. Then go on pressing enter key. It will go and display all the command lines, recent 100 commands which I worked. If you want to come out of this, you say press Q. Control L for clearing the screen. Okay, note down and try to remember all such tips while working with these Linux shell commands. As I said before, you can use pipe command and you can always try to generate some very interesting set of outputs. Say for example, if you want to find out the content of a password file, you can type all the passwords of the user accounts is stored in a particular file called PASSWD, but of course it is encrypted file. So then you can try to sort each entries, and then you can try to once again pipe it, and you can say less. You want to see less content at a time. That means one page at a time. See, all these are the user account. When I say user account here, there are many system defined user accounts also there. It shows the entries of user password file. Then you can find out. See, all these are the contents of /etc/password file. At the end, it will display end. You can come out from there. Interesting point, what you need to remember is that you can combine many more Linux shell commands in a useful way. You can join together output of one command, you can pass on to the next command. Here cat command output is given to sort and sorted command is given to less. You can individually type that command also, but by joining together you can generate some very user friendly and useful outputs. So in this way, in the last class also I mentioned, you can create many, what to say, sequential commands. After displaying ls command, if you want to display date command, then you could type it in this way. So ls one command, semicolon, date. And if you want to try with some other commands, then also you can try to write ls date, then output is this. Initial ls command will work, semicolon, after that the next command. You can see the output of the date command here. This is how you can sequential commands can be generated. And now onwards we need to look into different features, different commands, or the another useful command which is very useful while writing Linux scripts. Say for example, you can write echo, then you can write some message. You can write some string, echo how are you, then how are you is displayed back here. And here you can nest together this echo command in a very interesting way. I'll say for example, you can write echo, then you can write I am, then you can write a dollar symbol. Actually this is about arithmetic expressions. More details we can look into in subsequent chapters while writing shell programs. So I can write 2020 minus 1981. Actually I am subtracting these two values. Then I can write years, world. This is one example. If you write like this, now when you write echo how are you is displayed. Now look into this echo command. I have enclosed some values, some numericals within a square bracket preceded by a dollar symbol. Now it will say that I am 39 years old. So I am 2020 minus 1981. So this mathematical expression is evaluated here. And you are getting a result in this way embedded. So this is to just indicate you that shell program or a bash or any shell for that matter can do some type of computation as well, like a programming language. It may not be a complete programming language, of course, but it can do some very useful computations. Okay. So this is what you need to say. Another command, echo my name is, then you can write dollar user is a shell variable. Actually it is a user account name. Echo my name is, then if you type like this, that dollar user, its value, one string user account name is stored in that variable, that is displayed. It will say my name is and your user account name. Say now here dollar user is a shell variable. Okay, so we can how to change the shell variables etc. Also that also we can study. Similarly, there are many different shell variables available. Say for example, If you say echo dollar home, it will say that it is the user's home folder is stored there. Similarly, echo dollar path variable content. I told you about this path variable. This is a file, this is a location, or this is the content. If you closely look into this content, you can see that each of these paths are separated by a semicolon or a colon symbol, initially /user /local/bin. This is a set of path names where shell program will look for command source codes. See, for example, so I typed here, say type bash. It said /bin/bash. Actually, the moment you type in any commands or any command called bash here, you are going to search in these particular folders. In any one of these particular user bin folders, etc., you are going to search for. So similarly, there are various set of environment variables also. All these are called, say for example, echo, one more commonly used one. Any environment variable is preceded by $. It will say pwd is a present working directory. Similarly, echo dollar shell value, it will say 1. Actually, this is one very interesting command. Now bash is working. This says that there is only, this one indicates that there is only one instance of bash now. Now you simply type once again a bash here. Bash is a command. Actually, it's shell command. Now you type echo dollar shlvl. It will say 2. Once again, if you type bash, then if you type echo dollar shlvl, it will say 3. That means that there are 3 instances of shell right now in this computer. So you can come out of that third one by typing exit. You can come out of that second one by typing once again one more exit. Now if you type echo shell value, it will say 1 because only one command shell instance is running, or the bash instance is running. So anyway, now this is just to mention what is the shell value as well as what is the environment variables, etc. Always you can exit from a shell using exit command, which is we tried now. Now if I type exit, this terminal will close. And again, there are some very interesting, now the moment you click on any shell program, you are getting this particular window. Actually, how a shell window should look like, you can define it in various different files. The one of the file in many Linux systems is /etc/profile. So it tells about what should be the path variable for the shell, etc., etc. So now what you are going to see here is that this is a shell script. This is a shell script to do some very useful task. Okay, now we are in the next chapter, we are going to write our own shell scripts to perform some very useful task in a computer. This particular shell script defines the shell environment, how an shell program, what are the facilities to be given by the shell program, etc. So in this way, these are the very basic informations regarding introduction to the shells. Now, and how to use the shells. These and all these commands you need to practice in your computer by using the reference textbook Linux Bible or any other textbooks. Any other is fine for that matter. So try reading books and type those commands. And whenever you get any, say for example, now we worked one command called sort. Now you want to find out what is this sort command is, then it can type use man command for finding out more about sort command. So I am insisting on this man command again and again almost in every class, because this is a very useful tool to learn user commands. So it will say sort lines of text files. Then what are the different options? See, we worked with that command with -f. Okay, ignore case. That means that ignore uppercase and lowercase and simply display it in alphabetical order, etc. Then month-wise sorting also you can do. Numeric sort you can do. Reverse the result of comparisons. Reverse alphabet sorting also can be done. There are various other options with the sort command. So you can try to explore this sort command much more using man command. Every man command is formatted in its own way. Once again, say for example, when I say man sort, just look into the way in which this man command will display its output or help. It will initially say name, what is the name of the command, and a brief one-line explanation of the command. Then second part of the explanation will say how to make use of it, synopsis. Then here it is mentioned in the square bracket what are the options and files. Okay, you need not type square brackets here. Instead, you can use those options, option and the file names. Then when you say option, what are the different options? That is listed here. You can go for -b, or you can also type a long sentence like this. Ignore, hyphen, ignore, hyphen, leading, hyphen, blanks. Or shortcut is -b. Similarly, you can give an option sort -d, very short and sweet method. Or else if you want to a descriptive method of giving a command, hyphen, directory, order. Both are possible. Both are, you can make use of it. In this way, all different possible options are displayed. After that, next part is author. This is about who wrote this man page, their detail, because it is a open source details. It is available for everybody for free. You need not pay for using online manuals. Even they say if you find any mistakes in the man page in its description, you can always report it to these websites. And this is also protected by a copyright that is called Free Software Foundation, which maintains license for general public. It's also called as a general public license version. There are different versions. If you are very interested into the licensing schemes of open source software, you can get more detail about GPL or the general public license schemes. It has got its own copyright, and also it shows lists some related commands. Shuffle and unique commands are related to these sort commands. Anyway, for any man page, you will get this particular display. Actually, man is an online book. This man contains basically 6 different chapters. Sorry, 9 different chapters. See, chapter 1 is executable programs or shell command help. Chapter 2 is the system calls. Chapter 3 is the library calls. Chapter 4 is special calls. Chapter 5 is file formats and conventions. Chapter 6 is games software related commands. 7 is the miscellaneous commands. Chapter 8 is the system administration commands, which is those commands are always used by administrator. And chapter 9 is the kernel routine commands. So if you echo based on your interest, you can search in a specific chapter also by writing, say for example, man 3 printf chapter. When the moment, then you will get printf commands and its syntax, various formats of printf command and related explanations. One example of how to use that also is given for this particular command, a C program. You can look into that by mentioning chapter number also. You can search. Sometimes one command may be there in a shell also as well as a system command also. In that case, you can always search chapter wise. Okay. If you want any discussion in these topics, you can raise the issue. Anybody? Any doubts? Okay, now in the next topic, we are going to looking into chapter 4 of the textbook. Chapter 4 deals with moving around the file system. When I say moving around the file system, here we are going to discuss about how the files are arranged in the Linux system. How the files are arranged in the Linux system. So in a Linux system, all the files are arranged in hierarchical manner. So now look into this particular image in the textbook. You can also note down this particular diagram. The Linux file system is organized as hierarchy of directories. Now the topmost here, whatever you are going to see here, topmost one, that is the root file system, or it is indicated with the slash command. I advise you to take it down. Take down this particular hierarchical structure. In any Linux command, you can see this particular kind of arrangement. Files are arranged in a particular fashion. The topmost file system, or it is also called as inverted tree structure. First level is the root folder. And after that, there are many different system defined folders are available. That contains, look into that. The first one is bin, the directory called bin. And the next is boot. Then comes a directory called dev. Then comes home folder and so on. So here, all these commands are a standard. It follows, every Linux distribution follows this particular standard in arranging files in the Linux system. OPT, root, user, etc. Now let me stop this presentation for the moment. I want to Can you see the screen now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now look into the Linux. So in the topmost folder, as I said in the topmost folder is called slash, or this is also called as a root folder. Okay, this is also called as a root folder, or you can think it as a topmost directory, root, and within that there will be multiple folders, say bin, opt, user, home, and media, and so on. There are many more. It is there in that particular diagram. Now look into the one of the known folder called home. This folder will have or will hold all the home directories of users created in the computers. If you create one user called U1 here, one folder will be created here. If you create one more user, U2, one more folder is created, and so on. See, if I create my one user account called Manu here, one folder called Manu is created here. So normally we call this as the home folder of individual user accounts in the Linux system, in a one particular Linux system. Now, whenever I log in as a normal user in this particular computer, I will land up here directly in my user account. Remember that these are the system folders. Administrator can restrict the access to all these folders. If I log in as a very normal user with the name called Manu, so I have access rights only in this folder. In this folder or in my home folder, I have a freedom to create my own folders. I may create one folder for example, data structure programs or OOP programs, or one more folder called Java programs, etc. In this way, I can create my own folders and I can arrange I can create one more folder called MP3 songs. And within that again, you can arrange the files in your own fashion, folder within the folder. That is possible. But remember, as a normal user, this is everything is within the folder called Manu in your home folder. And in case a user called U1, if he logs in, he will get an access to his own folder, and he will arrange all his files in his home folders. So user 1 cannot access your files, you cannot access user 1's files. It is completely isolated, or access is restricted. That's why we say that Linux is a more secure operating system. By default, operating system separates every user's space as far as the disk contents are concerned. So now you need to remember, so in a standard way, what is the meaning of /bin, why this /opt is used, why this /user is used, why this media folder is used, and why there is one more folder called local, etc., etc. So there are many different system folders. We study that very systematically, why these different folders are used, etc., a little bit later. Now, for the moment, what we want to learn here is that how to move around. in this particular folder. Say for example, now focus on your own folder here. Okay, okay, I'll show you in the next page. So this is the root folder. Within the root, along with the different folders, you have, it has got one folder called home, etc. These are the different folders, and within home, assume that your user student 1, there is another user account called student 2, etc. Now a student 1 creates one folder called, say for example, my programs. Under that he may create C programs or OOP, object oriented programs, one folder, Java maybe another folder, etc. So you are free to arrange your own files in this fashion. Now how to move around these files? Now we assume that the moment you log in as a normal user, say student 1, you will log into your home folder here. Now how you can go to this particular folder called Java, where you want to create some program called x1.java. You want to look into this content, or you want to execute this content. You can browse through this content, or you can traverse from this student 1 folder. You are here, you have to go here to the my program. You can traverse to Java program by using command called change directory. You can write cd, then you can write dot my programs /java. In this way, you can traverse the directory. Similarly, you want to come out from a particular directory, you can say cd command, cd and a dot dot. In this way, you can traverse through in various folders. So to traverse through these commands, normally we use a command called cd, and to come out from a folder, to enter into a command with a cd and then folder name. And to come out of a folder, we will write cd and a dot dot. Okay, dot dot indicates that you are climbing up in the reverse direction in the tree. Okay, in this fashion, you can climb up in this hierarchical structure. Say, for example, if you are inside Java, you can say cd11, then you will reach to my programs. Again, if you climb up from there one step further, you are climbing up to student 1 folder. Third time when you say cd dot dot, you are going to home folder. From home folder, if you again type cd, go up, then you are climbing here. After reaching here, once again you can traverse through cd media, you can come here to this particular folder. And if there are multiple folders here, you can enter into that also. This is how we will traverse through in a Linux directory. Any doubts in this? Now let us do these things in practically also. Any doubts or any additional inputs you need here? Do you need? Now let us go to the practically, we'll go to the shell command and we'll practice this. Now take note of how this command structure here. Now if you want to find out where you are, press PWD, present working directory. So you are inside /home/Manmohan. You are inside folder called Manmohan. So if you want to go up in the folder, type cd space dot dot. Press it. Now you find out where you are, PWD. You are inside /home. Look into the way in which command prompt is also changed. Now from here again you can say cd dot dot. Now type where you are, pwd, you are in the root folder. Look into the notation used for root in Linux. You are in the root folder. Now if you look into this particular command root folder, what are the different folders available under root? The first level of directories in Linux. Simply find, say ls. It will say bin, data1, dev, home, then lib32, libx32, media, opt, root, sbin, sys, usr. All these are different folders available in the first level. Now you can go inside any of these directories here. Say for example, you want to enter into USR folder. Simply type in change directory and folder name USR. Now find out where you are. PWD, present working directory. You are inside a directory called /user. If you have a permission, now the /user contains once again many different subdirectories. Bin, games, include, lib32, etc. etc. Remember, we have not created these files. During the installation process, all these files are created by the kernel of the operating system. It is a very standard directory structure in the Linux, where systematically all the operating system files are distributed among such different folders. Now you can browse through within any particular folder. From here, you can directly go to my folder. That's also very interesting. Say, for example, now you are in /user. Your present working directory is /user. From here, you can say cd. You can give a complete path name from beginning from the root. You can say, I want to go to from root to home, and from there you want to go to folder called Manmohan, and within that there is another folder called document. So you can write a path name like this also. Need not write only one folder name at a time. You begin the name from the root here /home. Now this particular method of writing the path, or this path name, is also called as absolute path name. Note down, absolute path name. Absolute path name is indicated or written by clearly mentioning from the topmost folder or the root. / is the parent of all other folders available in the Linux system. So complete path. The moment you say like this, you will be inside my home directory. Sorry. Home directory, there is a folder called document. You can make one single jump directly instead of going for multiple cd dot dot, cd dot dot, then cd, etc. You can write absolute path name and you can visit any directory. From here also, you can make a direct jump by writing absolute path name. Say, for example, you can say /usr /local, directly jumping to that location of a folder called local inside user folder. This is how you can traverse through in Linux for systems, and you can search for different files. Now, what are there in all those different folders? There is a brief description here. You can also look into that. Say /bin. It contains common Linux user commands such as ls, sort, date, etc. Slash boot always contains bootable Linux kernel. Kernel is the core part of the operating system. Remember that when I say Linux kernel here, I always refer to core part of the operating system. Similarly, dev stands for device. It stands for different system related files, CD-ROMs or hard disk, etc., indicated using this particular folder. Then many different administrative configuration files will be stored in /etc in a folder called etc. Home, already explained, contains directories assigned to each regular user. Then /media provides a standard location for auto-mounting devices like your CD-ROMs, etc. /lib will contain shared libraries, and you can mount any USB pen drives, etc. in /mnt folder, mounting folders, and miscellaneous and optional directory structures. Okay, these are the different. There are many, much more folders are there. Brief meanings. Go and refer to this also, and try to remember the purpose of each of these folders in a Linux operating system. Now, I am stopping for today's class, and you will have a assignment which will begin exactly at 10:30. And till then, if you have any doubts regarding the contents discussed so far, it is open for all. You have to
So when
switch
you
on your,
showed the man,
yeah.
so when you
What?
executed the man command, there was like 8 sections which you shown. If you
Yeah.
want to access that a particular section, how can we do that?
That's what I said. Man and then space section number. Man space 2 and some command name.
So I did that. It was showing no manual entry for one. Like this was the
Yeah, that means that for that particular command, you don't have any content in chapter 1. You have to search in other chapters. That is the meaning there. If there is no entry found, either that software piece of command is not installed. For which command you searched for?
so for the first one. There was certain. The first one was executable programs or shell commands. The different section numbers were given.
See,
So
say for example, you type man 3 and read, find out what happens. Say for example, let me show you. Say, if we say man 3 and if you say one command, say read, see no manual entry is found in section 3. Now change the chapter number, find out in a different chapter, man 2, then it will give the output. That is, read don't have any explanation in chapter 3. Instead, you have one explanation in chapter 2. Similarly, if you say chapter 1, man 1 read, it will give a different explanation. This is a user command. Read is a user command, not the shell command. Chapter 2 actually contains a system API. Look into this man. Here, see, one is executable command, 2 is the system calls. If you want to find out what is the meaning of read system call, you have to look in chapter 2. If you want to find out an shell command read, then you have to search in chapter 1. That's it.
okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yes, any other doubts? Okay, then you can at exactly 10:30 assignment will begin. You can go and read that. You have time up to 30 minutes time. Actually 20 minutes time, 10 minutes additional is given. Sometimes it may take take a while it is distributing assignment to everybody. So look into that. Now I will take attendance also. Okay then, good luck for assignment. Read it carefully, understand it, and then mark your attendance. Okay, I will wind up this class. You can log into assignment section and wait for the assignment